today I'm going to talk to you guys about cyberbullying, but first I want to show a short PSA that I found.
It starts with one person, one word, one post. This is the reality of cyberbullying. It's not physical, it's personal. It's 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. A cyberbully isn't just one person, it's hundreds. A bystander becomes more than just a witness, they become the bully.
This fatal cycle can only be put to rest one step at a time. And it all starts with you. It can end with one person, one post. Be more than a bystander.
And speak up for the victims of cyberbullying.
So this short PSA was created by Submit the Documentary, a publishing company, in 2013. Cyberbullying is a well-known problem that we all know about in today's society. So all of us here are online, whether it be just through like your UCM email or whether you're on every social media account out there. Show of hands, how many of you have been personally affected or know someone who's been affected by cyberbullying? See a lot of us around here. So my mom is a media specialist and has passed on her tips and tricks to me, but I've also done research on this topic. Cyberbullying affects our youth today because of the increase in technology, but we can solve this problem by educating others. So today we are going to talk about the problem of cyberbullying, increased technology as the cause, and I'm going to give you resources to educate youth, parents, and educators on the topic. So with these objectives in mind, let's begin by identifying why cyberbullying is an issue. See, advantages of technology are commonly talked about in today's society, but the negatives are not. The authors Zwick, Dank, Lackman, and Yonner published a research article called Technology, Teen Dating and Abuse and Bullying in 2013, and they state that 1 in 6 or 17% of our youth have reported being victims of cyberbullying. So let's take this class for example. 4 of you in here would have been victims. But now, let's take the U.S. Census Bureau's 2015 count of youth aged 10 to 19 years old. Over 7 million would have been reported victims of cyberbullying out of over 41 million. There's no doubt with these numbers that cyberbullying is an issue today. So cyberbullying is a clear problem among today's youth, but the causes include increased technology usage and unsafe technology usage. So the main reason is because of the increase in technology. Kids have access to at least one, if not more, technology sources nowadays. There are parental controls, but many parents don't utilize these, or kids can easily bypass them. How many of you guys know the passwords to your parental controls when you were a kid? I know I did, for sure. So if you don't have technology, you simply can't cyberbully others, and you can't be cyberbullied. So how many of you guys here have one of these accounts above? Almost all of us. So with the rise of Instagram, Snapchat, Facebook, Twitter, any of these that you see up here, we see that more children are getting on them and at a younger age. So I have an infographic here that shows information from the Spotlight, which is a research company. Their study published in 2013 said that 42% of 6 through 12-year-olds have visited a social media network, and 29% have their own account. Now you might know that you have to be 13 to sign up for these, and you have to agree that you are 13 and prove that that's your age. So this shows that these students are lying about their age, some with their parents' permission, which is a problem all on its own, but some without. So the advantages of these technologies are great for users who use them appropriately and who utilize them. But for those who don't, it can cause a real problem. You can change your name, your pictures, your demographics, or anything, and create an anonymous profile to cyberbully others from. Social media and technology use are the main causes of cyberbullying, so we can combat this issue with education on this topic. So the first group we need to educate is our youth. It is actually breaking the law in Missouri to cyberbully. So the Missouri Senate Bill 816 and 795, passed by the 94th Congress in 2008, states that cyberbullying is harassment. This can be, you can get a Class A misdemeanor or a Class D felony if you're an adult cyberbullying a minor. So the next thing that we can do for our youth is teach them about the Take 5 initiative. I have a short video by Common Sense Media, an education resource, that was published in 2017 that explains this initiative.
Here are 5 tips to share with your kids about dealing with cyberbullies. First, don't respond or retaliate. If you're angry or hurt, You might say things you'll regret later. Plus, retaliation only prolongs the problem and doesn't solve it. Second, block the bully. Block phone numbers, screen names, and email addresses, and remove the person from your buddy or friends list. Third, save the evidence. Print out or take screenshots of abusive messages and keep them as proof. Fourth, report it. Most websites have rules against cyberbullying. You can usually find information on how to report abuse in the site's community guidelines. And finally, tell a trusted adult. Telling a teacher or a parent isn't tattling, it's standing up for yourself. And even if the bullying occurs online, your school probably has rules against it.
So that just shows you the Take 5 initiative. The next group that we need to educate are parents. So teenagers often don't tell their parents when they're being cyberbullied, so they need to learn the signs and symptoms of that. So the symptoms are getting online less, emotional changes in your teen, avoiding social interactions, and hiding their screens when you come around. So parents can also take some precautions for their children, including having a list of their username and passwords, being friends with their child and their friends if you feel fit, and having access to their privacy settings on their phones. The third and final group we need to be educating are teachers. The U.S. Department of Health and Human Services stated in 2017 that bullying is most often seen at schools. Victims of cyberbullying often say that they're victims of physical bullying as well, which is what takes place in these schools. So they also need to know the signs and symptoms so they can appropriately help the children who are being victims of this. So I have a couple of resources that are on those little sheets that I handed out to you. So the first one, there you go, is stopcyberbullying.gov. So you can see the different tabs over on the side. We have Common Sense Media, which is where I got the video from, and it has for parents, educators, and advocates. And then we also have Cyberbullying, Bullying in the Digital Age, which is a great book written by some authors that are fluent on this topic and know what they're talking about. So educating our community is the best solution that we can have for cyberbullying at this point. We can't just end it right on its own. So today we've learned that there is a problem with cyberbullying in our community. The causes are the increase in technology, and the solution is educating our youth, parents, and educators. So next time you go online, think about what you're posting and who you're interacting with and what you're saying. Your online interaction is a permanent record and will stay with you for the rest of your life. So I would like you guys to pull out your phones and start educating others today by putting one of the facts that you've heard today on one of your social media accounts, maybe Twitter, Facebook, or even just texting someone, and go ahead and put the hashtag #StopCyberbullying so we can get the word out there about it. Thank you.
Awesome, great job.